He was about to be put to death by lethal injection, charged with the murder of a convenience store owner, yet he insisted he was innocent. Even when tightly strapped to the table, Finch still refused to confess. The victim's family instantly flew into rage.
Fire! He has to confess his guilt! Why won't he tell the truth?
There were already eyewitnesses who testified that it was Finch who had killed their father, so why was he still unwilling to admit the truth? In the end, the warden ordered the anesthesia to be administered. As the liquid slowly flowed into his arm, Finch broke down and begged them to stop. He hadn't hurt anyone. Just then, a voice was heard. The female lawyer stared in shock at the scene, while the warden angrily answered the phone, saying that the injection device had completely failed and they had no choice but to postpone the execution. Finch couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. The victim's son Parker couldn't believe it. This scum was allowed to live. Due to a technical malfunction, the execution would most likely be delayed for a year, giving him time to attempt another appeal. But Finch couldn't stop thinking about that voice. Liz was confused. What was it? As the only person who believed him, Finch said that a woman had whispered to him that the time had not yet come. Liz believed it was just an auditory hallucination caused by immense pressure. There were no guardian angels in this world. At that moment, the warden walked in again. They were ready to carry out the injection one more time. Finch finally lost his cool. This wasn't some lucky draw, and he didn't want to go through it again. Even though Liz asked for another delay, the warden insisted on proceeding. They had brought in a brand new machine, and Finch was forced back onto the table. Outside were still the same familiar faces. Parker only wanted to watch him die. Finch kept repeating in his mind, "Don't let it happen," when a hollow female voice rang out, and he suddenly snapped awake from the floor in a daze. The warden received an emergency call. There had been an electrical fire somewhere in the building, and they had to initiate an evacuation. Finch escaped death once again. Fire engines rushed into the prison, and the onlookers' attitudes began to change. It had to be God protecting Finch, sparing him from 2 executions, proof that he was innocent. The crowd started chanting, "Save Finch." The incident made headlines the very next day, and public opinion began to shift in his favor. Finch didn't sleep all night. There were countless death row inmates across the country. Why was he the one being reported? It wasn't just because he was innocent. There had to be some other reason he was still alive.
Not yet. That's what you keep saying.
I hate to remind you of this, but the state has decided that not yet means 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Finch had a strange feeling this wasn't the government's decision. The warden still intended to carry out the execution, only this time by electrocution. He was given one final chance to make a statement. Staring at the same familiar faces, Finch urged them to hurry up and get on with it. Seeing his arrogant attitude, the staff immediately pulled the switch. Sparks flew everywhere, and the entire system short-circuited. The warden urgently ordered the power to be shut off. It seemed even the king of the underworld couldn't take his life. Realizing he truly had been spared, Finch burst into loud, hysterical laughter. From then on, he completely let himself go, sleeping soundly at night, and even smoking in his cell. Liz believed it was all just coincidence, but Finch calmly ate his breakfast with not a hint of fear. Liz noticed the angel he had drawn on the paper, the one Finch claimed to have seen during the electrocution, even if only for a flash. He had seen those wings and believed it was his guardian angel. Liz didn't want to hear any more of this nonsense. They had a press conference coming up, and a witness was willing to withdraw their testimony. Finch needed to act like an innocent man and stop talking about guardian angels. Maybe then he really would escape the death penalty. However, no sooner had Finch agreed than he confirmed the existence of the angel at the press conference, declaring that the innocent would be freed.
I am living proof that there is a higher justice. And when I win my freedom, it will be my duty to spread the word to all of those who have lost hope.
With that, the press conference came to an end. Finch had made himself famous. Perhaps this could turn into a career.